What a stupid question that is. What a stupid question. But I watch you a lot. You ask a lot of stupid questions.
Welcome to today's Cable News Craziness, where we take a look at some of the craziness that takes place on cable news. Today, Jen Psaki, the Biden administration press secretary, is finally facing some hard questions. She doesn't have any actual answers, but even CNN's Kaitlan Collins is growing tired of her nonsense. Roll it.
On the border, the administration has refused to call it a crisis, instead referring to it as a challenge and saying what you call it doesn't make a difference of how you're responding to it. But now today there are over 3,700 children, unaccompanied migrant children, in Border Patrol custody. They're spending on average over 100 hours, 4 days, in these facilities that are jail-like facilities not meant for children. So how can you say that's not a crisis?
Well, I think what Ambassador Jacobson and Secretary Mayorkas were conveying, and what I've conveyed, is it doesn't matter what you call it. It is an enormous challenge. It is something that is front and center for the president. I noted yesterday, he had what is a regular meeting, but he had a briefing yesterday on the trip to the border, and there are a number of, while there are no final policy decisions.
Now, this palpable frustration by Kaitlan Collins is understandable. Jen Psaki doesn't answer questions, and she makes the media kind of look like fools. Not by fighting with them or besting them or anything like this, but because they have such a cozy relationship, when the media allows this nonsense to continue, it just makes them look bad, especially for people like Kaitlan Collins. Kaitlan Collins was one of the most ferocious attack dogs during the Trump administration, and she has transitioned into the role of lapdog for the Biden administration. But even she is saying, look, there are kids in cages. Now, she's not using those words because, again, this is the Biden administration, not the Trump administration. But she's making it clear that these are, in fact, kids in cages without saying those words. And keep in mind, if they were being honest about this, they would point out that these kids in cages are not there because of something outside of their control, like a judge striking down a decision by the Trump administration and opening up the doors or something along those lines. No, this was an intentional act by the Biden administration to stop everything the Trump administration was doing at the border that had stopped the flow. Everybody knows, including the people coming across the border, that when Biden got in, he was going to open the doors. And here we are. They're not testing them for COVID. They're putting kids in cages, and they are basically creating their own drama at the border and then not responding to questions about it. What I'm waiting for is the moment where America's liberals in the media are going to start talking about how nobody who works for Joe Biden can eat at a restaurant because there are kids in cages. Now, that came from activists, but the American media played those clips up of people getting yelled at in restaurants and talked about it nonstop and promoted it, and that's what they did. Don't get me wrong. They signal boosted this stuff so more of it would happen. There is no question about that. So when does that start this time? Or was that just something they did during the Trump administration? Oh, that's exactly what it was? Okay, as long as we understand that everyone is just exposing themselves for being complete frauds. Okay, good deal. That's why this is Cable News Craziness. We'll cover it every single day here. So like, subscribe, follow, leave a comment, and come on back tomorrow. Hey folks, Dale Jackson here for my friends at University Kia. Listen, I've been driving Kias for years, over a decade, actually way longer than that, and I absolutely love it. My wife made me get a Telluride for her. It's an amazing vehicle, my favorite Kia that they have ever made. Grant, my son, loves it as well. It's big, it's roomy, and it's amazing. The best part about University Kias, though, is they'll help you find the car that works for you and your family. So head on down to University Kia today. Check them out online at universitykia.com, and when you talk to my friends over there at University Kia, make sure you tell them Dale Jackson sent you.